King Charles heralds new era of relations with Germany at state banquet with Queen Camilla. The king heralded a new era in Anglo-German relations as he and Queen Camilla attended a glittering state banquet on their first state visit of the new reign. Their three-day tour marks a reset of Britain's relationship with Germany and other European Union countries after Rishi Sunak's Windsor Agreement with the EU on post-Brexit trade arrangements. It also comes amid a determination in London and other capitals to forge a united front across Western Europe in the face of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. At a white-tie banquet in Schloss Bellevue, the official residence of Germany's President Frank-Walter Steinmeier, where guests ranged from former German Chancellor Angela Merkel to strictly star Matzi Mabuse, the monarch reflected on more than 40 visits to the country and his love of German sausages and beer. "I also think fondly of the time my wife and I sampled Bavarian sausages at a farmer's market in Munich, and found ourselves drinking beer and waltzing around at the Hofbrauhaus," he said. "I can understand why Saint Boniface, an English monk, who is famous for having preached in Germany, is also a patron saint of brewers." He said the two countries were deeply invested in each other's futures. "I am utterly convinced that the connections between us will grow ever stronger as together we pursue a more sustainable, prosperous and secure future." The king, wearing the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany First Class presented to him, said it was a friendship which mattered greatly to his mother, who cared deeply about the bond between the two countries. "I did want to thank you all, once again, for the profoundly touching messages of support and affection we received from so many people in Germany following the sadness of her death last year." He added, "The relationship between Germany and the United Kingdom matters greatly to me, too, Mr. President, and I am more convinced than ever of its enduring value to us all. It means so much to us that my wife and I could come to Germany for this very first overseas tour of my reign. I can only assure you, that throughout the time that is granted to me as king, I will do all I can to strengthen the connections between us." He and Camilla, who wore the Boucheron diamond tiara with a shimmering Brusselfield black evening gown and a late Queen's fringed diamond necklace, should have been in France at the start of this week, but that state visit was called off because of violent protests against President Emmanuel Macron's decision to raise the retirement age in France from 62 to 64. In his first comments about the postponement of the French trip, the king expressed regret soon after landing in Berlin. "It's very sad," he told a reporter from the BFM News channel. The 74-year-old monarch was given the honor of becoming the first visiting head of state to receive a ceremonial welcome at the Brandenburg Gate, the 1791 monument now a symbol of national unity but once the emblem of a divided Europe after the Berlin Wall was erected and it was out of bounds to both East and West Germans. They were greeted by President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and his wife, Elke Budenbender, with full pomp and circumstance. A German band even played Elgar's Land of Hope and Glory for the crowd before their arrival. Beneath gunmetal gray skies, King Charles, 74, and Camilla, 75, went on separate walkabouts among 1,500 well-wishers, mainly British expatriates invited by the embassy and German schoolchildren involved in exchange programs, after the monarch had inspected a guard of honor. Earlier, as a mark of respect, two Luftwaffe Typhoon jets escorted the RAF Voyager plane carrying the royal party through German airspace, shortly before it touched down at Berlin-Brandenburg Airport. They were greeted with a 21-gun salute, fired by nearby field guns, and a flypast by two military jets as they paused at the top of the plane steps after arrival. Camilla, wearing a turquoise Brusselfield dress and coat with a matching Philip Tracy hat, walked down the steps behind the king. The queen consort also wore a brooch from the late queen which was given to her by her grandmother Queen Mary on her 1942 confirmation. In a speech, President Frank-Walter Steinmeier noted it was 6 years to the day since the British government had submitted a letter notifying the European Union of its intention to withdraw from the bloc. "Let me say in all honesty that for me personally this was a sad day. And plenty of people in Germany felt the same," he said, adding that many feared Brexit would drive Britain and Germany apart. However, this did not happen. Too strong are the ties between our countries, too close the friendships between our people, Too precious the reconciliation efforts after 2 world wars. He told guests, "Today, exactly 6 years later, we are opening a new chapter," and added, "The Russian attack on Ukraine, the first war of aggression against a neighboring country in Europe since World War II, has stirred up memories of the darkest days on our continent." But Putin's brutal calculation did not come to fruition. He did not drive a wedge between Europe's democracies. Earlier, at a green energy reception at his official residence, Schloss Bellevue, the president hailed the king's foresight on climate change. He told guests in the building's Grand Langansel, "I am grateful that King Charles III began to champion healthy nutrition, sustainability and climate action very early on. We are all benefiting today from your Majesty's convictions." Charles met young climate change activists and was presented with a traditional Lenin Phi, a hand-woven scarf from Manipur in India, by 11-year-old Lissy Priya Kangajan. Referring to climate change in her home country, the monarch said, "I know what a huge challenge it is in India." Lissy Priya, who was in Germany with her mother Baidirani, said afterwards, "We had a conversation about the loss and damage in India and about climate finance and climate justice. It's good to know that he has always been working for the environment." At the banquet, the president presented the king with a touching portrait photograph of him as a boy with his late father Prince Philip. President Steinmeier said, "At the tender age of 13, you came to Germany, with no official welcome, no press, no photographers. And yet there is a captivating photo, a snapshot of you together with your father, Prince Philip, as you arrive at Frankfurt Airport." A young journalist, at that stage a mere trainee, took the photo on the tarmac. "And it gives me great pleasure to present you with this photo to remember this special moment today, 61 years on, as a sign of your long-standing close bond with our country."
When your emotions can't stop being so damn tough, just know it's okay to cry, 'cause you're not alone. Go find yourself a home to feel warm and feel loved. My bed is free tonight, just come and hold me tight. You're all that I need, just give me it please. It started with a kiss, hope it could be more than this. You're all that I need, just give it to me please. Just give it to me please. When love is not the thing that you asked for, I know you have these feelings more than before. So cut that shit and just admit you were wrong. You know I care, I just couldn't bear, so I wrote this song. 'Cause I can feel it too, I'm breaking down the walls for you. Baby, let me through. My bed is free tonight, just come and hold me tight. You're all that I need, just give me it please. It started